So last paragraph here, we will be able to experience with the simplicity or innocence of a child before they've learned language. We'll be able to experience life without the filter of language, with the simplicity or innocence of a child, but also with all of the distinctions of language, all of the power and capacity of language. We'll develop our skill in the use of language and have the ability to not be stuck in language, which is a silly thing to say, but not to be looking at language as a priority all the time. It's an interest, and it's a priority when it's an interest. And when your blood pressure is an interest, or when breathing some oxygen or touching a tree is an interest, then guess what? Language might not be a priority. Sleeping might be a priority, and while you're asleep, language might not be a priority. We'll be able to experience with the simplicity or innocence of a child before they learn language, but also with tremendous skill in the use of language, in our capacity to interact with other people, in our family, in our business, in the grocery store, in life. By being very mindful of language itself, we will become much less attached to language or particular phrases, particular sequences of words. We'll be more playful. So we'll be less attached to language, but more effective and efficient and powerful in using it when it's relevant to use it. Sometimes language does not make a difference. If you want to, prevent a foreclosure proceeding, there's a couple ways to do that. This is a weird reference, but if you want to prevent a foreclosure proceeding, there's a couple ways of doing that. You can pay the debt or file bankruptcy, hypothetically. And filing bankruptcy typically will at least postpone a foreclosure proceeding. And that is an action in words. You take the forms and fill them out, and you put the filing fee with it, and you send it in, and you file bankruptcy through language, and you might get valuable results. Or someone might do that. I don't mean to suggest that you would ever have that situation yourself, but who knows. The point being, sometimes speaking and writing and the phone call is exactly what needs to happen, and nothing will replace language. And other times, what we really have is really simple things, and we want to simplify the language and be done with the language, be done with talking about it. We want to end the conversation, have it come to a conclusion, and we are now grounded. We are now ready for anything, the unknown. We're ready to learn. We don't need language to learn. We don't need to read a book about riding bicycles before we go out and learn how to ride bicycles. In other cases, it's going to be really useful to read a book first. Or to, whatever, to talk to somebody who's an expert in the field. All sorts of things could be relevant. All right, so it's 8:20 my time. We went 2 hours and 5 minutes, and it took us a few minutes to get started. I do want to have people give some feedback. Any comment you want to share, what you got out of tonight's call, any question that you want to take forward into next week, you can make a note of it, or even better, in my opinion, go ahead and share. And I'm currently recording, so if you want to save it till after I stop recording, that's fine. But who has a comment or a question or anything they want to say about what's showing up for them now?
I was impressed that, or actually I was disappointed that only 5 or 10% of your day is dedicated to saying stupid things.
Yeah.
I thought it'd be much higher than that.
To my wife. I say stupid things to Daniel Frischler, and I mean, if you add all the different stupid things, okay. My wife says it's about 80%. She should know. That's kind of So is that better, Daniel?
All right, that sounds better.
All right, very good. Thank you. Who else?
Hi.
Hi.
I just wanted to, I wrote this and I'll say it too. I just enjoy practicing that tremendous skill in utilizing language from the space of non-language. It's lovely. Lovely, lovely.
I just kind of like created that idea yesterday morning. Yeah, yesterday morning. But it's also derivative of an organization. Some of it is derivative of an organization called Landmark Education and a particular training they do called the Advanced Course in particular, which is kind of their second big weekend. They have a series of programs. And my wife and I have done a few different programs of theirs. And have you ever heard of them, Valerie?
I have just from you most recently.
I mentioned it before. I think that there's some really simple things, and when I was a few years ago, I was, let's say, depressed, disoriented, and confronted, and like grieving. Depressed is close enough. Okay, so I was depressed, and some new age type of hippie type of lady was visiting, and she said, okay, let's touch here, and then let's touch here. And it wasn't like a massage, but it was like she simply touched my body in a few different places and drew my attention to my physical experience, my breathing, my heart rate or circulation, the things around me. So her experience of me, I believe, was that I was distant and in my head and wasn't really capable of having just a playful, relaxed conversation with her because I was obsessed with, something. Maybe, and I would say as an introspective analysis now, maybe I was interested in avoiding my shame and grief and my disappointment and embarrassment. So that can take a lot of energy and that can be very distracting. So imagine trying to talk to somebody who's trying to avoid showing any expressions on their face. No matter what you say, I'm going to be Japanese. I don't know if you know that reference. The idea is that in some cases Japanese people culturally tend not to display their emotions in public. So, Valerie, what else?
That's all I wrote for now.
Awesome.
My was just joined in the last, I told him, anyway, his name is David.
Hi, David. I'm JR.
Hi, JR. How you doing?
I'm doing all right. We're just wrapping up. Valerie, did you want to say anything else, though, as far as your comments on the whole process or where you're at now?
I love the interaction with everybody contributing and the learning of communication and just everything that's been happening since I first ran for president.
So to speak. Yeah, administrator. Close enough. Right. Yeah. Very good. David, if you care to, you're welcome to make a quick comment or even just an introduction. Anything you'd like to say?
No, just came in on the beginning of this, so I'm just listening, and it sounds very interesting.
Cool. And I am still recording, so we'll have that recording available if David or anyone else would like to listen to it at a later time. I'm going to move on. Thank you, David and Valerie. Anybody else want to comment on their experience and where their interests and priorities are now? My wife gives me a shake of the head no. I'm excited and I like writing these things. I do it without, compensation so far. Because of maybe just frustration and a really great deal of motivation to become clear, to shift from confusion and frustration towards clarity and power and those kind of things. So I thank you all. I actually, before we close, I'm just going to stop recording.